Coming up on Lakers Report is the NBA putting together a new schedule to finish out the 2020 NBA season and of course the new playoff schedule. We're going to talk all about the latest updates on that situation, plus how is LeBron James staying busy during quarantine, see his new favorite hobby to do with some of his former teammates from high school. Plus, we are talking the off season. Who are 5 players that the Lakers are potentially not going to be bringing back next season? We've got all of that and more. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, on Lakers Report, starting right now. What's up, Laker fam? Welcome to Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han. Now, before we get into today's video, I do just want to say I hope you guys are still staying safe and sane, healthy, and as happy as can be during these crazy times. I know times are really tough, but today we actually have an awesome video for you guys, and we've got some great, exciting updates on a possible NBA return. So I'm super excited about it. But before we get into today's video and breaking that all down, I do want to ask you guys to please hit that subscribe button down below. Come and join this Lakers Report family if you have not yet done so. We've got some awesome coverage for you guys all year long, not even all off season, but there's still always so much to talk about regarding our purple and golds, and I would love to hit 12,700 subscribers in the next couple days. We are so close to that. I only need about 42. So if we are able to get to that 12,700 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing a mailbag Q&A episode, so please don't let me down. Hit that subscribe button down below. Come and join this Lakers Report family, and also feel free to ask me a question down below in the comments because I know we're going to hit that number. So my next video, of course, will be answering all of your questions regarding our purple and gold. But let's move on because, like I said, we've got some exciting things to talk about. Starting with the NBA is definitely in talks for discussing a possible return. They would love to finish out this 2020 NBA season and then, of course, have the playoffs. But, of course, there are going to be some kinks that they need to work out. So here are the latest updates we have for you involving that situation. NBA execs are working hard to try to get a one-site, fanless 16-team playoff, and then of course having about 5 to 7 regular season games to finish out before they enter the playoffs, because of course a lot of the players have expressed that you can't just jump right to the playoffs, especially when they are going to be out, pretty much on lockdown, really unable to train, work out consistently, because they need some time to be able to get back into basketball shape. But nonetheless, NBA execs are definitely working extremely hard to be able to provide and finish out the season. They do want to crown an NBA champion this year, but of course things are going to have to be a little bit different. Like I said, it's going to be a one-site, it's going to be a fanless basketball thing, but again, we will be able to continue on with basketball. So in terms of location, they're still kind of narrowing that down. Right now, the top candidate is looking like it's going to be in UNLV in Las Vegas, just because that seems like the most realistic place. There's a lot of hotels. That's kind of an easy spot for them to do. But they've also mentioned potentially going to the Bahamas, Atlanta, maybe even Hawaii. So there are a lot of rumored possible locations to where the rest of the NBA season could take place. Now, if it were to come back, which I am keeping my fingers crossed that it does, it would come back in late June, potentially even early July, which of course this would mean that the next season wouldn't even start till around Christmas. It would also mean that the NBA draft would have to get pushed back a ton as well. So like I said, we are all very hopeful that we can make a possible return to the NBA and finish out this 2020 season. But of course, there still is that big possibility and that big chance, and a lot of people believe that there just truly is no way this can be done. Jeff Van Gundy actually came out and said, he just unfortunately doesn't see this being able to happen. But I'm going to be able to remain positive and say that the NBA season will return, and our Los Angeles Lakers, of course, will end up that NBA championship. But it is going to be a little bit different. But I do want to hear from you guys. Do you think that the Lakers are going to finish out this season, that the NBA is going to return? Do you think they're going to play, or do you think it's going to be canceled? If you think they're going to continue to play, type P down below. If not, then type C down below. Now moving on to LeBron James, because the King has definitely picked up a new hobby during his quarantine. He posted this picture on his Instagram account the other day of him zooming with his former high school basketball teammates from St. Vincent St. Mary's. On the call, you can see his former teammates. You saw Frankie Walker, Willie McGee. We saw Romeo Travis, Drew Joyce, and Brandon Weems. Now, there was one player who was missing, who he actually mentioned in the caption. He said, yo, someone needs to get a hold of Sion Cotton so that he can come and join this Zoom session. So obviously we are all kind of stuck in the house. We are bored and we are in the house bored. But now seeing LeBron James connect with his former teammates is great. You know, I've been loving all the content that LeBron's been putting out. He's been super active on his Instagram, and all the Laker players honestly have been pretty active on their social media accounts. But all I can say is, you guys, it really makes me miss Laker basketball and just the NBA in general. And if you were like me, comment down below and type me. I'm going to be going through all the comments, and everyone who comments me down below, I'm going to respond, show you guys how appreciative I am for you guys watching this video, because we are all in this together, you guys. Another day without basketball. I don't think anyone would have ever thought this. Real quick, also, before we get into our next storyline, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe here on Lakers Report. Don't let me down. I really want to hit that 12,700 subscriber count so I can do my mailbag Q&A episode. But moving on, there was recently an article published on Fansided talking a little bit about this Lakers offseason. Now, of course, we actually may be in the offseason, unfortunately. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that's not the case. But nonetheless, this article talked about 5 potential players that the Lakers may not bring back next season. So wanted to talk a little bit about this. Starting with number 5, they have Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard, obviously, this has been his redemption year for him. The Lakers brought him on after that injury to DeMarcus Cousins. Laker fans weren't too excited about it. He went from being the most hated guy in LA to honestly a pretty beloved Laker player. He has really had a great season. He accepted his role as that, guy coming off the bench and really just done whatever the Lakers needed to do. He's had a positive attitude. He's been a great energy in the locker room, on and off the basketball court, and he's played really well for the Lakers just in general this season in kind of limited time. He hasn't gotten too much minutes, but he's still averaged over 7 points, over 7 rebounds, and he's been shooting the ball really effective from the floor. He's just played extremely well. So personally for me, I would like the Lakers to bring back Dwight Howard next season, but their main reason to why they may not actually be able to do so is because Dwight has actually earned himself a little bit of a bigger contract. So, of course, the Lakers just signed him to that 1 year after that non-guaranteed contract this year. So, he is going to be a free agent again. It's most likely that a lot of teams are going to be being able to offer him some more money that the Lakers may not be willing to offer him. Now, number 4 on their list is not really surprising. It's Quinn Cook. Now, Cook was actually a guy when the Lakers signed last summer I was really excited about, but unfortunately, he's been really disappointing, and he honestly just hasn't played too many minutes. He found himself kind of out of the rotation. Alex Caruso's really been kind of our surprise MVP this year, took over Quinn Cook's minutes, and he's only been averaging 4 points, a little over 1 rebound, 1 assist. So stats all across the board are just really nothing to be super impressed with. So it was rumored that the Lakers were possibly going to just cut him this season, or that they were going to trade him. They didn't end up doing so, but it is most likely that Quinn Cook is not going to be on this Lakers squad next season, which is unfortunate. I think he's a good guy, has potential, just wasn't really the best fit for us with this team moving forward. We had some other guys that kind of stepped up and really fought for their minutes and earned them, and unfortunately Quinn Cook just wasn't one of those guys. Now we still have 3 more players on this list. Before we do so, I want to remind you guys that we are having an awesome sale here with one of our sponsors, Fanatics, on some really cool Lakers City Edition gear. So real quick, we're having up to 30% off. Here's some of my favorites right now. We have this really cool kind of gold and white zip-up jacket. We have this awesome Laker LeBron Nike t-shirt. That one's got to be my favorite. And this Nike Los Angeles shirt. So if you would like any of this, plus of course a bunch more, then all you got to do is go to chatsports.com/LakersCity and you will get 30% off all of our Lakers gear. So definitely make sure that you take advantage of this awesome opportunity. But moving on and talking about number 3 on our list. So coming in at number 3, this one may be a little bit surprising, but they have Danny Green. Now, Danny Green, of course, if he is not a Laker, it's going to be because the Lakers traded him. And I know this may be surprising because this past offseason, signing him was probably our biggest signing. But it is a possibility. His name was actually rumored and kind of thrown around in some trade rumors back before the trade deadline this past season. So it's definitely a possibility that if the Lakers are looking to update their roster via trade, then Danny Green could definitely be thrown into any trade package in order to match salaries, because of course he's got a pretty big salary there. And according to Rob Pelinka, he's really willing to do whatever it takes in order to make this Lakers a championship team and to continue to improve the roster. So really, no one is is safe besides LeBron and Anthony Davis. Of course, if AD does decide to rejoin, which I think, as we are all well aware, I'm pretty sure he's going to do so. But Danny Green definitely could look to be traded this summer if it means that we are going to be updating our roster. Now, number 4, here they have Rajon Rondo. This is not surprising at all. Rondo has been extremely disappointing for us this entire season. He's not played defense well at all. He's been an extreme liability out there on defense. He's been shooting horribly from the floor, only 41% in general from the floor, and honestly, he just hasn't really been doing anything right, and it's kind of shocking because Rondo was a guy who notoriously is known for being a great playmaker, a great point guard, but fortunately for us this season, you know, anytime he's been out there on the floor, that is when our offense has been extremely stagnant. So Rondo been a huge disappointment. So definitely, most likely, the Lakers are not going to be bringing him back this next coming season. Now, number 1 on their list that they have is Kyle Kuzma. Now, of course, if you guys know me, you know this one stings. I don't want Kuz to be traded. But unfortunately, he has a team option this summer. So it is likely that the Lakers are not going to want to re-sign Kuz because he's had a pretty disastrous year. You know, there were huge expectations for him going into this season. He was supposed to be that third star, that third scoring option for us. It just never panned out. Yes, a lot of it was out of his control with some injuries. He really struggled to kind of fit with LeBron James and AD. His minutes were very inconsistent, but still, Kuz has just not had a good season. He's really averaging career lows on all sides of the stats. He's only shooting 29% from three-point range, which is by far the lowest percentage he's ever shot, which was frustrating because the Lakers really needed him to be, you know, back up in that 35, 36, heck, even 38% like he was his rookie year, but unfortunately just wasn't able to happen. So there definitely is a big possibility that Kuz, with that team option, the Lakers are going to decide to not bring him back. But of course, I don't want to see him happen. I'm a big Kyle Kuzma fan, but I'm curious, do you guys think Kyle Kuzma is going to be a Los Angeles Laker next season? If you do, type Y down below. If not, type N down below. Now, before we get into our final storyline and talk about a fan who paid $30,000 for what Kobe Bryant memorabilia, but before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to please give me a follow on my social media handles. My Instagram is @HannahRoseKulik and my Twitter is @Hannah_Kulik. If you want to keep up with all things purple and gold, or if you'd like some fitness tips and tricks, summer is just around the corner. I'm posting a ton of home workouts that you guys can do at home while we are all on lockdown, and just in general, I love to post fitness content and fitness videos, tips and tricks as well. So definitely make sure you are giving me a follow there. But moving on, because we've got to talk about this. Recently, a fan paid $30,000 at an auction for the Kobe Bryant towel that he had in his final game, April 13th, 2016, when he addressed the Lakers crowd. That was truly one of the best games ever. That's one of the best memories I have of Kobe Bryant, that final game. I know a lot of Laker fans can agree it was such a special moment, such an amazing ending, and really the cherry on top to such an unbelievable career. Still just doesn't feel real, you guys. You know, we had a couple days ago, it was the 2-month passing, or the 2-month anniversary of Kobe Bryant's passing, and it just honestly doesn't feel real. It will never really feel real, honestly, but still, there is so much memories and so many happy memories that I have of Kobe Bryant. And, you know, hearing that a fan just paid $30,000 for this towel just brings back what an incredible game that was, and just what an incredible player, an incredible legacy that Kobe Bryant has really had and left behind. I know for me personally, you know, while I've been on lockdown, I've had some extra free times, and I've definitely gone back and rewatched some exciting Laker games. I've been rewatching Game 7 of the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics, and of course, I've been rewatching that last Kobe Bryant game for just some extra motivation. Especially when we were all kind of locked down, it's hard to get some motivation, and those games and watching Kobe Bryant in particular really helped motivate me, as I'm sure they help motivate a lot of other Laker fans. But I'm curious, have you guys been watching any previous Laker games during your quarantine? If you have, let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to hear what games and see what games you guys have been watching, because maybe it'll motivate me and help me find some more games to watch as well, because we've all definitely got some extra free times on our hands. But that is going to be it for today's episode, talking about all of the latest Laker news. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a double thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe here on Lakers Report, and of course, just chat sports as well. Follow me on my social media handles, and until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye, guys!